I found this quite hilarious. The BBC was under fire last night over claims it was tacitly lobbying for a 1 billion a year increase in license fee revenue. Now, just to emphasize this, tacitly, in a way that is understood or implied without being directly stated. And you think to yourself, the next bit, well, that's just bollocks. And, they come out with things like, under the previous Conservative government, the annual fee faced years of scrutiny, with it being frozen for 2 years at £159 before it was increased at a lower than expected rate in April, bringing the charge, and it's all in the wording there, to £169.50 in the annual report. BBC Group Chief Operating Officer Leah Tavalzeva, I'll go with that, wrote 2 years of flat license fee pricing at a time of high inflation has resulted in a significant funding impact. In real terms, this next bit I'd say was more telling. The license fee generated 30% more income in 2010-11 than it does today, a difference of more than £1 billion a year, and it's probably more than that. But what you're actually seeing is, if you want that translated, an awful lot more people in the last 10 years went, wait, why am I paying this? Seriously, what is this all about? Really? Because all that nonsense that they keep sending you through the post. Oh wait, we've noticed that your address doesn't have a TV license. You're under investigation, and there will be an officer in the area soon. Which is, well, it's wrong on so many levels. Be assured of that. It's absolutely outrageous. They're quite literally telling you, demanding that you pay for propaganda that demonizes native populations and goes against anything to do with family, humanity, what we've embraced for a very long time. And it's do what thou wilt, and if you happen to be, well, white, for example, and especially a male, well, you're a misogynist, you're a bigot, you're of the past, you're no longer needed, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, for a while, the BBC was, you go, girl, we're anti-man, don't you worry, we're all women here. And then what happened? Well, listen, girls, you're going to have to get used to, well, somebody that might feel that they're opposite sex dangling their willy in front of you. And if you're not up for that with your children in front of you, well, you're not sharing our shared values. It's a complex subject, but the point is the demanding of people pay to sponsor this witchcraft on all of us is astounding. That anybody to this day, especially to this day, accepts this. They are a disgrace. And they should be left to sink or swim by, well, what is now, well, isn't it funded by subscription? And if they have something to say that is relevant to many, people will pay and subscribe. If they don't bring real value, then they will deservedly disappear, and for good reasons. And the fact that they've been sponsored for so long, and let's not forget, look at Ireland. What was it, RTE, the state broadcaster? What was it, $750 million or something? I have no idea. Or is it billions? I have no idea. But the point is, it's anti-native people. It literally tells that most of the population that they are a disgrace and they are this and that and they're wrong. And these parasites want us to fund this? Well, let's go to best rated. So I stopped paying the license fee years ago. I don't miss watching live TV or woke BBC. I refuse to support them and their overinflated salaries and egos. I go this further. It's an easy sell for me because I don't have a TV. Anybody that does, well, you need to think about that again. It wasn't that long ago that we had 3 channels, and that was it until, believe me, honestly, the early 80s. Yeah, and most people read an awful lot more books and got on with their lives. Yeah, and I get how some people say, well, look, it's background. It's almost like it keeps me company. Does that not emphasize how bad our society is if that's the case? Anyway, so steady on. If they don't get more money, they'll have to cut the pay of the wingnut crisp salesman. Yeah, it's funny. The BBC is run by a group of very greedy people who are overpaid to hate our country. Lineker is the worst sports commentator, yet is paid well over £1 million for a lackluster woke performance on TV. I stopped paying my license as I stopped watching the BBC years ago. Stop paying the license, yeah. Remember, any individual that comes to your door, especially Scotland, and they go, are you, once you know straight away, who are you? And well, they'll have to identify themselves as somebody from whatever to do with TV. Whatever they say after that, your reply is the following: I can't help you. That's it. You could be anybody. You could be somebody just looking after the place. You could be somebody's brother. You could be a pal. It doesn't. The point is, you have zero obligation to identify yourself to any of these merchants at all, for whatever reason. But keep it simple. I can't help you. Expand on that to your peril, honestly. The more words you put into it, the more opportunity they can turn it around. Keep it simple. Seriously. And I'll repeat, if you're watching TV to this day, please, for your own sanity, do something else. And I'll speak to you soon.